Yeah, I mean saying it mildly. I mean he's been really really good, and he's hitting lefties right now, which is something that he hadn't done in the past, and maybe it was opportunity driven. He's getting the opportunity right now just because of where the roster's at and the injuries and everything, and he's capitalized on it. You look up at the scoreboard and you see the bottom line that's on that board, and it's eye-catching. I looked up yesterday. I had no idea he was hitting 340. Not that average is the number nowadays. I know that's changed, but all you guys, anybody in baseball, when you see a 340 put up on the board when there's 150 to 200 plate appearances, it's impressive. So I'm really happy for him. Anytime a player kind of comes back from the dead, he kind of gets cut loose in Kansas City and has to go back to the minor leagues. It's kind of the same thing we talked about with Carlson the other day. You really love the story, and you're really happy for the player.
Is that path and his personality what make him such a great leader for this clubhouse, of the experience that he's able to offer?
No doubt. I think we love wisdom, and Ryan brings that, and his experience with, being a prospect in Kansas City, getting to the big leagues, not getting the opportunity that he wanted, and then, getting cut loose and being in Norfolk, and then coming to us. I think it was actually in Kansas City where he left us the first time in 23, so he goes back to his former place, and then gets, I think it was optioned, I don't know if it's DFA'd or optioned, but he gets sent back to Norfolk from where he was. It just makes the player, I don't think those stories and those experiences are rare. I think it happens way more than we think, but I definitely think when it happens and guys kind of come back from it, kind of makes the player, and it's something we all feel good about, and it's somebody, and it's a story that makes us want to follow him.
When he was in Kansas City, and even in his first season here, he was a guy that did have a good amount of swing and miss in his game, and he didn't walk a ton. Starting last season and then carrying over into this year, he's not striking out really at all, and he's walking a lot more. How impressive is it to see a player at this stage in his career, early 30s, make a change like that into his approach?
Well, it's impressive for him, but it's also impressive for our hitting coaches. I think those guys deserve a lot of credit here. I think at times, like, the industry wants to, when a team's not hitting as much, we want to beat down, the coaches, and we forget to look at the successes. And there's a lot of successes here, including Ryan, and it's that room. It's those guys. They do a great job. And if you ask Ryan, he'll probably tell you the same thing. But, over time, he's had time in the game. He's lasted, he's made it, and he's been allowed to make adjustments. I think sometimes we expect players to come up right away and just be the absolute best versions of themselves right away. I don't think that's realistic. I think it's more common to see guys struggle at some point in those first few years and then come out of it than the player that just becomes an absolute superstar from day one and never struggles. So I think what we're seeing with Ryan is maybe a little longer version of that than you would like for a player, but we're seeing it, and we'll absolutely take it right now.